All right, now for those of you that have been keeping an eye on things, there have been some really exciting updates when it comes to Need for Speed Unbound. We've got a roadmap that we're going to show you here. Now, this is talking about year 2, which the team are calling Kaizen as their philosophy, but it means that Need for Speed Unbound's getting another year of content as well. And it's already kicked off with Volume 6. That's the head-to-head update, which also reintroduced Audi into the game as well. But rather than me talking about it, why don't we get someone who worked on the game to talk about it a little bit as well? We've got John Stanley here, who's the creative director on Need for Speed Unbound. John, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Now, before obviously Eleanor, John, you guys have not met before, so I've had the pleasure of meeting you in person, John, but Eleanor, John, Eleanor,
Hello.
Nice to meet you, Eleanor. Happy International Women's Day.
Hey.
Thank you.
John, what was the head tilt about there? You said I was talking about the pleasure of meeting you, and then you kind of made a face. I don't know if that was a dig at me.
I don't know if the pleasure is mine or yours, or whichever.
It's mutual. It's mutual. Yeah, it's mutual. But for those of you for those that don't know you, can you maybe give us a little bit about a history about yourself and you at EA and how you got into Need for Speed as well?
Yeah, sure. So I've been with EA now coming on close to 12 years. I started out at Brightlight, which was a company way back when. Go search it. Go take a look into it. Started back in QV and was at Brightlight for a year or so. Moved on to Criterion and then was QV there. Way back on Need for Speed Hop Shoot. Worked on many Need for Speed titles across the years. I believe Unbound is actually my 11th through QV and development. I've been with the franchise a long time. But also had the opportunity to work on lots of other great titles too. Got to work on Star Wars Battlefront 2. So Criterion did the Starfighter Assault mode for that, which was fantastic, great fun. Also keeping the Star Wars, we did Star Wars Battlefront Rogue One VR X-Wing mission. I think I said that right. Which was amazing. Great development to be able to do. Great to be able to learn and grow in VR. And then, of course, Battlefield as well. So with Battlefield 5 and Firestorm with the Battle Royale mode. So it's been crazy. It's been a crazy ride, but I'm glad to be super stuck into Need for Speed now, getting into it with the players and with the team. So.
Well, yeah, you've clearly been around the block then. Yeah, you've seen a lot. Now year 2, Need for Speed Unbound. You're calling it Kaizen as like a philosophy. Talk to us a little bit about what that philosophy is and what players maybe can expect with that.
Yeah, so Kaizen is based. So Kaizen as a Japanese word actually means change for good. So Kai as in change and Zen as in good. And we want to make those changes going forward for the franchise. And actually the other part of what Kaizen means is it's all about small incremental improvements. So making small incremental steps in order to create something much larger, much bigger in the end. And that's exactly what we're trying to do with this second year of live service. We're trying to, for the first time really, create that kind of ultimate destination of Need for Speed in one place. But in order to do that, we have to be, grow small, like add until we get to that bigger destination. The other part of that is really about understanding and learning what you guys as the players want to see, what's resonating, what's not. And that's just working together really, testing some things, trying some stuff out and kind of building the best destination for Need for Speed possible. So.
Yeah, and obviously we shared the roadmap, but what can people actually expect to come from that then?
So over the course of the year, we're going to have our 4 volume drops. So obviously volume 6 is out now. And then we've got 7, 8, 9 coming. Can't say too much about the different volumes. So I can talk about volume 6 though. So so volume 6 come out. It seems like it's had some great reception so far. Really happy to see it. Really happy to see the good and the bad. Like bringing the feedback on. You can see here from the screenshots, Audi RS6 is in, absolute beast. And then our main headline piece of gameplay that we've put in is our PvP door. So for us, the PvP door was essential really. It's something that we wanted to do for a little while. We needed to have a dedicated space for you guys to play competitively and to play races. And it also did something for us as well, where we knew in free drive we weren't necessarily getting full lobbies. There was lots of different options for you in free drives. Now, dedicated space on the front end in the multiplayer garage, jump in, full lobbies, play to your heart's content. And The other thing that comes with the PvP door is the fact that we've now got rotating playlists. So the playlist, you'll notice, will update on a weekly cadence. We've heard that some of you want to see that a bit more often. We're looking into that, seeing if we can make that reality too. So yeah, good variation there. And I think this week we actually put down our Need for Speed Legends playlist for the first time. So go back and race in the Ferrari Testarossa and get that vibes from, you know, where it all started back on Need for Speed Road and Track. So.
Love that. I love what you guys have been showing so far. There's just so much like really cool, like, and also like player friendly content, like in the, like, it's for the community really. Like that's clear with like that entire philosophy of Kaizen too. Now there's obviously been a lot of like coverage as well on volume 6 and what you guys are up to with Kaizen 2, and one of those was of course Black Panther. We've got a little clip of his video here.
So let's talk about what's new, everything that's new. If I click on play, now you will see the option of free roam or PvP. Rename it to speed list. I've definitely noticed some like icon changes throughout all the game as well, which is a nice little feature.
Love that. And yeah, if you want to check out Theos channel where he kind of goes over the volume 6 updates, you're gonna have to head to his channel, which is you just search Black Panther with 2 A's on the end as well, so make sure you check that out.
It's funny that he calls out. Oh. Sorry, after you, Emma.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, it's funny that Theo calls out about them being called speed lists. I remember back on Most Wanted 2012 that Theo wasn't always the biggest fan of 2012. Some people but, that was one of the games I worked on quite a lot back in the day. So I'm glad to see it resonate. It's good.
Cool. Yeah. Well, there also were some very cool screenshots that Mundo shared on X based on a rap that OMG Surfy made, I believe. Yeah, there they are.
Love these. These look really cool. In fact, actually, John, I think you got one of them as your banner picture, haven't you?
I do indeed. Yeah, ask for permission from Surfy first, of course. Surfy's
of course
one of our members in our player account, so it's great to have him on board. And yeah, he does some fantastic work, as you can see.
I love that you had to. No, go on. What were you gonna say?
I was just saying, it just always amazing. It just stuns me what players are able to do with the rap editor, like creations they're able to come up with. So yeah, it's fantastic work.
Yeah, this looks really smart. And actually, I find it funny that you've had to go to him to ask permission to use the game that you made in your Twitter bio. But yeah, of course, it's his creation, I suppose, at the end of the day. You gave him the tools and he's made it. So
that's it. Worked his magic.
Yeah, so obviously you've been working on this for quite a while. So what's your favorite thing about Kaizen, kind of from your perspective as a creator? And then if you had to pick one thing for people to not miss and look forward to, what would that be?
Oh yeah, okay. So it's interesting. So the kind of reality of Kaizen is something that we talked about, not in the form of it, but something we've been talking about in the studio for quite a long time around kind of building this incremental steps, this building and getting towards a better kind of Need for Speed destination in general. So I think that's for me the most exciting piece, seeing the game kind of growing as we add more and more to it. And obviously we're working on the next volume already, but just seeing how the game and the destination becomes more rounded with just week by week is the thing I think I love the most, just being able to add to it. So and then to that point, even though it's a bit of a tease, I think Volume 9 is the thing that I'm most looking forward to. I know we've been very cagey about that, and we haven't said much about it at the moment. It's for good reason, you'll see. And actually, been having a lot of fun with it in the studio, and we actually had our player council as well test it out, and they had a bunch of fun too. So we'll see how it lands, but it should be interesting.
Awesome. Now there was actually
I do feel like.
Oh, what were you going to say?
I do feel like that is a very much a tease to the people in chat, but I guess it keeps them waiting, doesn't it?
You haven't got anything else to tease us with. You can't give us anything else, can you, John?
Well, we might have a little something. We could have a little something that we might be dropping in for Volume 7.
Okay, what was that? I haven't seen that.
What was that? So yeah, as you know, our headline for Volume 7 is Drag and Drift. So we wanted to introduce some of our signature styles, some of our tags, in that are kind of going to amplify that. So drifting, obviously, is going to be a big proponent, and we wanted to have something that kind of looked like you're tearing up the road. So our amazing VFX artist Simon's been working on that, done a great job. And with me bugging him over the last couple of days, got that capture together straight from Engine. So yeah, it says work in progress. That's not how it's going to finally look once we release it. But yeah, I feel like it's pretty cool. I'd love to see what people think about it too. And yeah, should be fun when we're trying out drifting in Volume 7.
That looks really really interesting. It's funny you say like tearing up the road. It literally looks like it was like they're tearing up the road.
Yeah, and yeah, it's done a great job so far. And yeah, it's just trying to give that kind of visceral sense, right? And we're trying to different things for Kaizen. We're trying with more realistic side of things, more stylistic side of things in between. So yeah, trying things out.
Nice. All right. Well, before we let you go, there was actually something I wanted to just throw everyone's attention to as well, because John and his colleague Pat, who's one of the producers on the game, were kind enough to go through a Q&A over on our Reddit page as well. So if you want to kind of get a sense for what these guys are thinking for Kaizen Volume 2 and like future updates as well, I highly recommend checking out this. I think it's pinned to our Reddit page, which is r/Need for Speed. So there were a lot of questions that got put in. Unfortunately, we couldn't answer all of them, but there's some really good answers in there. So make sure you do jump in there and check them out. But John, thank you so much for joining us today. Is there anything you kind of want to leave us with, or like any thoughts to kind of just round things out?
No, just say thanks for having me, really, and just like I say, keep the feedback coming. Loving seeing all the interaction from everyone out there. Please keep it coming. Thanks to James as well, like with all the work that he's been doing with our player council too. So thank you very much. So yeah, just great stuff.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, John.
It was lovely meeting you. Thanks for joining.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so let's move on to the formula, shall we? That was a bit of a drop, wasn't
Absolutely.
it? Like I wasn't expecting that.